If you've ever played Pokemon Diamond or Pearl, or the remakes, you're probably familiar with the name Cynthia. Cynthia is one of the toughest Pokemon trainers in all the games. Her Pokemon team was handcrafted by someone who really wanted to push the limits of both my Pokemon and my sanity. My first attempt at this run in Brilliant Diamond, which took me roughly 2 months, led me all the way to the champion fight, only to lose it all to this. Hold it, hold, Mirror Coat, hold, no! It was time for revenge. It was time for the Revengelocke. Before we get started, let's go through the rules of the run. We're only allowed to catch one Pokemon per route, with an additional underground encounter after every gym. If a Pokemon faints, it is out of play. We must name all the Pokemon, and we play at level cap so we don't overlevel. We added one additional fun rule for chat. You can remove or bring back any Mon during the run with channel points. This obviously was limited to once per stream. Before we get started, I just wanted to say, if you guys do want more Pokemon content like this, do hit that subscribe button. It is free and you can unsubscribe at any time. With that out of the way, let's get this started. Our journey started by picking Chimchar, and after looking at its stats, we named it Zeltron. Look at that up attack, god damn! After that, we headed to Route 201 where we found our actual first encounter, which happened to be a Bidoof. Look at that guy. It's like looking into the face of God. We ended up naming her Doofy, and we carried on to the next route. Over on Route 202, we got our next encounter, which happened to be a Starly, which we accidentally named Starly, so A+ for originality. After that, we headed to Jubilife City, where I picked up the Old Rod. I then backtracked to Twin Leaf Town and got our third encounter, which happened to be a Magikarp, which we named Sashimi, which made up for the lack of originality on the Starly. Over on Route 203, we bumped into our rival Chuck. Now, we don't just call him Chuck, we have to scream it like, Chuck! With Zeltron leading, we had no problems wiping the floor with Chuck! Before Orberg City, we had a few more encounters to get. We had a Bidoo named Alpha Q, a Zubat named Benjamin, a Machop named Choppa, and we summoned the legendary Uwu Onix to join the party. Now, there was only a 10% chance of an Onix appearing, so we said Uwu, and it appeared. This is the first thing I learned from the run. When in doubt, use the Uwu strat. We were now ready to take the first gym challenge and face off against Roark. Having a team of completely rock Pokemon gave Zeltron a huge advantage, as he was able to use moves like Power Up Punch to wipe through the team. We defeated Roark and secured our first gym badge, and Zeltron evolved into Monferno. Look at that monkey. After heading to Floroma Town, we headed to the Valley Windworks where we had our first encounter with Commander Mars. Now, the only thing scary about her at this point, other than the fact that she looks dangerously close to Ronald McDonald, is that Perugly. Man oh man, can that fat cat take a hit. Zeltron came very close to death. However, we were able to pull through and defeat the cat, thus defeating Mars. After the battle, there were some more encounters to get. On Route 205, we picked up one of the most goated Pokemon, a Shellos, which we named Capo in honor of last run's Gastrodon. We made our way to Eterna Forest, where we found Green Hair Lady. She needed our help getting through the forest, and I agreed to help her, not because I was forced to, but because I'm a good sim. No, Chansey, what are you doing? Stop, I need to catch that Pokemon, stop, please stop. After almost leaving her in the forest for that, we finally found the exit, and we continued on to Route 205. This is where we found one of the most ironic Pokemon in the run. Yep, a Pachirisu. We caught it and named it Nutty. The good thing about Nutty was his ability Pickup. This ability let us pick up items randomly after opponents' battles. This will be very important for finding things like a Shiny Stone, which can be used to evolve Alpha Q from a Roselia into a Roserade later on in the run. We finally made it to Eterna City where we had our first encounter with Cynthia. Don't let her cute looks fool you. You can actually almost see me reliving my nightmares here. We had one more encounter to grab before the gym, and we found a Meditite on Route 211, which we named Shantae. After that, we headed to the gym and faced off against Gardenia. Since all she had was Grass-type Pokemon, and Zeltron was a Fire-type Pokemon, this was an easy sweep for Zeltron, securing us a second gym badge. After that, we made our way to the Underground to get the additional encounters after the gym battles. Our first encounter was a Murkrow, which was actually perfect since we wanted to rebuild our Honchkrow from the last run. Unfortunately, I highly underestimated how strong this Murkrow would actually be. We ended up losing Zeltron, Capo, and Sashimi. After those three Pokemon fell, I just caught my losses and ran away, bringing me to the second thing I learned from this run. Never, ever mess with a Murkrow. Using our one free revive per stream, we revived Zeltron and reconfigured our team. We then headed into the Team Galactic Eterna building, where we found Pink Hair Lady, aka Commander Jupiter. The only thing I was genuinely worried about with her was her Skunk Tank. and the fact that it had Aftermath. For those of you that don't know, Aftermath is an ability that when a Pokemon faints, the attacking Pokemon gets dealt 1/4 of its maximum HP in damage, meaning that the Pokemon that ended up knocking out Skuntank had to have at least 1/4 of its HP left in order to remain alive. The battle was very grim, and we unfortunately had to sack Uhu Onyx. This was a necessary sack as it was going to set up our team so we didn't get hit with Aftermath. Thankfully, Zeltron had enough HP to tank the hit from Skuntank and win the battle. On our way to Hearthome City, we had 3 more encounters to grab. The first was a Ponyta named Garbo, the second was Chingling named Bling Bling, and the last one was a Psyduck we named Headache. After that, we went to Amity Square in Hearthome City to take our Pokemon out for a walk, when I found out that our own Alpha Q was not cute enough to go for a walk. How is it not cute enough? Dude, that's the cutest Pokemon I've ever seen. After being enraged after the lady told me that my Pokemon wasn't cute enough, I did what anyone would have done and entered it into a cuteness contest. Basic Pokemon. They don't even know what cute is. Look at that hype. Oh man, I am the hype man. And to no surprise, I won the contest. Let's go. That's huge. That's huge. On my way to rub my first place trophy in that lady's face, I ran into Chuck. It's Chuck. No, not Chuck, not Chuck. No, I don't want it. No. I'm not ready for this. I don't even know why I was nervous. I totally was ready for it, and we actually clapped them. Right outside of Hearthome, we had another encounter, and we found a Mime Jr., which we called Bozo. Shortly after that, Alpha Q finally evolved into a Roselia. Then we made our way into Vilestone City, where after a little bit of training, we were able to take the gym challenge and face off against Maylene. After another close call with Zeltron, we decided to switch in for Choppa so we can go for the sack. Zeltron was our only counter for Lucario, so we needed Zeltron in the best possible condition before he came out. And to my surprise, we technically did one-hit KO Lucario, but we got lucky because we got the burn. Just gonna mock punch this dude. Oh, burn, baby, let's go. Wow, okay. That's kind of big. With a heroic sacrifice of Choppa, we beat Maylene and we secured the 3rd gym badge. Choppa may be gone, but he will never be forgotten. After the gym, we set our eyes on Pastoria City, where we picked up a few more Pokemon on the way. The first one was a Wingull we named Wings, and the second was a Wooper named Donna. After getting all our Pokemon up to level cap, we decided to take the Pastoria Gym Challenge, where we faced off against Wake. Now, last time, Wake made me woke, so I was very well prepared on how to deal with him. Boom! There's Wakey. Wakey. With Nutty leading, we took down Wake and grabbed the 4th gym badge. After the gym, it was time for 2 more encounters. The first one was a Pichu named Shogun, and the second one was an underground encounter. And we found a Houndoom that we named Zilla. After returning to Pastoria, we had a run-in with Chuck, who literally cannot catch a break because I keep sweeping him. Now, this part of the run was a little bit embarrassing. I got really involved with the game, and I forgot to get the HMD fog. So I spent the next 20 minutes basically blind trying to figure out this path. Let me tell you, it was not fun. Just face that guy. There should be a bridge here. And I should be out of the forest. Let's go, boys. We're out of here. At that moment, I was excited and relieved at the same time. In Celestic Town, we had our first encounter with this blue-haired bozo Cyrus. We'll have another encounter with him later on. Speaking of bozos, we leveled up Bozo enough to learn the move Mimic, which now allowed him to evolve into a Mr. Mime. After training our Pokemon some more to get the level cap, we headed over to Hearthome City to take the gym challenge. However, when I got there, I realized I forgot to get the HM Fly. Oh, was I supposed to go to... No! Was I supposed to go to the thing? I forgot to go. This would have made things a lot faster, but what are you gonna do? You can't win them all. We headed into the gym and took the gym challenge. After some crazy math problems, we were faced off against Fantina. Fantina's team was very tough. We ended up losing Zilla to her ace Pokemon, Miss Magius. However, Zeltron stepped in and, as usual, saved the day, thus securing us our 5th gym badge. After the gym, we headed to the underground to get our additional encounter, and it happened to be a Murkrow. Catching this Murkrow was pure justice for what it did to us earlier on in the run. We named it Murked and carried on. After that, we headed into Canalave City, where we had our Chuck battle. Now, Chuck actually caught me by surprise here. I rushed through the battle thinking that I would win no problem, and I accidentally killed Murked. No! He was on our team for roughly 10 minutes. I guess I was never really meant to have a Murkrow this run. This brought me to the 3rd lesson I learned. Always take your time. Once again, Zeltron swooped in for the win. After that battle, Zeltron evolved into Infernape, an even bigger monkey. After that, we set sail to Iron Island to meet with Fancy Hat Dude. In there, we evolved Capo into Gastrodon, Alpha Q into Roserade, and we got the egg to hatch into a Lucario later on. We're now ready to take the Canalave Gym Challenge and face off against Byron. Since Byron had all Steel-type Pokemon, this made Zeltron the obvious choice for the gym battle. With Zeltron actually destroying the competition, we defeated Byron and took the 6th gym badge. Shortly after, I met up with Rowan and Chuck to devise a plan on how we're going to beat Team Galactic at all the lakes. They came up with a pretty convincing idea, but I threw everything out and said, we're bringing Zeltron. He basically made both Commander Saturn and Mars look like clowns. Hello, Bozo. On the way to Snow Point City, we realized we needed a solid ice type for a counter for Cynthia's Garchomp. What we got was a huge encounter. Okay, we're good. We got a Snover. Nice. Being an ice grass type gave Snover a huge advantage over Garchomp. The ice type moves are strong against Dragon, and the grass typing gave it a resistance to ground type moves, thus making Snover probably one of the best Pokemon to pick up on this route. We named it Everest and carried on to the Snow Point City gym. After the silly ice ball maze, it was finally time to face off against Candace. And after every urge of trying not to make a D's nuts joke, it was time to do another sweep with Zeltron. We only had 3 words for Candace, and they all happened to be the same word. Flamethrower, Flamethrower, and Flamethrower. Zeltron yet again securing us another gym badge, and probably one of the easiest ones so far. The only thing scary about that gym fight was after the fact when I thought I wasn't recording. I actually thought I wasn't recording for a second. I would have peaked. I would have been so angry. I would have been a restart run. After that, we made our way to Vilestone City, where we went to the Galactic headquarters. We needed a storage key to get in, and thankfully, the guy outside took one look at me, got spooked, dropped the storage key, and I was in. While inside, we evolved Shogun the Pichu into a Pikachu. Shortly after that, we ran into Big Boss Cyrus, aka Blue Spiky Hair Guy. This guy does not look intimidating at all. Oh my god. After some fancy footwork from our team, we finally took Cyrus down, stopping his evil plan of world destruction or something, I don't know. After the fight, we set foot to the top of Mount Coronet, where we were blessed by the presence of Papa Dialga. If there was only something in this world that could stop this monster from attacking the— and Master Ball. That was easy. After that, we went to Sunny Shore City, oof, say that 3 times, and picked up a Thunderstone, which we immediately evolved Shogun into a Raichu. After that, we headed over to the gym to face off against Volkner. Now, Volkner's probably the only gym leader that had some decent coverage, having a Raichu, a Luxray, an Octillery, and an Ambipom. The battle was very tough, and unfortunately, we had to sack Bozo. Bozo did go out setting up some light screens and reflects, so we had some additional defense against his Pokemon. For this gym, Capo was the obvious choice, being water and ground type, ground resisting all electrical moves, and water having natural resistance to Octillery's moves. I should also mention that Capo did have the ability Storm Drain, which when hit with a water type move, instead of dealing damage, it actually ups my special attack. With that all being said, Capo clutched the battle and secured us the last gym badge. Now, this is the most important part of the run. We needed to assemble a team to face off against the Elite Four. There was really only 3 things I was looking for my Pokemon team. Number 1, base stats. I wanted to make sure that we were getting the best Pokemon with the best base stats. 2, type coverage. The Elite Four and Cynthia all have a wide variety of Pokemon types. We needed to make sure we were covered on all of our bases. And number 3, the moves of the Pokemon. We wanted to make sure that all the Pokemon that we selected had the best moves that they could possibly learn. The first Pokemon we had in mind for this was actually Lucario. We got an egg a while back, which we hatched into a Riolu. Lucario is Steel Fighting type, which gives us overall good coverage. The next Pokemon we had in mind was actually a Garchomp. Cynthia doesn't use this Pokemon just because it looks cool. It actually has great coverage and great stats. We set out to Wayward Cave in hopes of finding a Gibble as our first encounter. To my surprise, we actually found one, which was awesome. We caught him and named him Wayne, and carried on. The next Pokemon we had in mind was the Snover we caught back at Snow Point City. Snover, which evolves into Abomasnow, has great stats and great coverage. Abomasnow will serve as a great counter for Cynthia's Garchomp. The next Mon for consideration was Capo. Its water and ground typing, mixed with its ability Storm Drain, was an immediate threat to any Pokemon was in front of it. The 5th Pokemon on the list was our own Alpha Q. It started from the very beginning, so it kind of felt pretty good to bring this all the way to the end. And unironically had fantastic stats and coverage. You guys probably guessed the last Pokemon. He's been the GOAT the entire run, and the one that carried us all. Yup, it's the big monkey Zeltron. After around 2 streams of training and preparation, we were finally ready to take on the Elite Four. For the first Elite Four member, Aaron, Zeltron was the obvious choice since all of his Mons were bug type. With Zeltron leading, we one-shotted each one of them with Flamethrower and advanced to the next member of the Elite Four. Up next was Bertha, who had mainly ground Pokemon. We led with Alpha Q and hit each one of her Pokemon with a Giga Drain, giving us yet another sweep. This is where things got a little bit more challenging. Flint has a well-rounded team that is mostly fire and ground type, making Capo the obvious choice for the lead. He sent out Rapidash, to which a few Scalds and Ancient Power did the trick. His next Mon was Lopunny, which had Mirror Coat and High Jump Kick, which made me kinda nervous, so I switched to Alpha Q to bait the Fire Punch so I can switch. Thankfully for me, it used Mirror Coat and I got a free switch. I was initially thinking of pulling out Zeltron and hitting with a fighting type move, but after some thought we decided to go with Wayne instead, since Wayne's ground typing put us in a better position for the rest of the fight. Wayne easily took down Lopunny and Flint threw out Steelix, which made for an easy Earthquake. Steelix's Iron Tail did give me a little bit of a scare since it almost killed Wayne, however Wayne did push through and we managed to defeat the Steelix. The next Mon that Flint had was a Drifblim, which only had status affecting moves. I remember that Garchomp had Crunch, so I decided to go for a few of those. I was anticipating him to use Will-O-Wisp here to get the burn. He did, but he missed, leaving himself wide open for a finishing blow. Unfortunately, it didn't kill him and left Wayne wide open. We decided to switch to Everest the Abomasnow and enter in with Hail and hit with Blizzard. That took down the Drifblim without any issues. Flint's last Pokemon was an Infernape and was an obvious bad matchup for Everest. Thankfully, we read that it was going to be going for a fire type move since fire is 4 times effective on Everest. We quickly switched out to Capo to tank the fire move. Thankfully, his Infernape missed the fire punch on Capo's entrance, leaving us free to hit him with an Earth Power, thus defeating the Infernape and defeating Flint. At this point in the run, things were looking very good. We had all 6 of our Pokemon still intact, and we were one more Elite Four member away from Cynthia. This Elite Four member was Lucian, who mainly had Psychic type Pokemon. His first Pokemon was Mr. Mime, which is a Psychic Fairy. We had decided to lead with Alpha Q and hit with Sludge Bomb. This was a super effective move, plus stab damage. Since Alpha Q's friendship level was so high, it not only dodged Psychic once, but twice, allowing us to take down Mr. Mime with ease. His next Mon was Alakazam, which is quite a scary Pokemon. We switched to Capo to tank some damage and try to get a burn with Scald. With a few attempts, we could not pull off a burn, and what was more scary is that Alakazam was boosting his special attack with Nasty Plot. I switched to Lucario thinking he would be able to take a hit, but unfortunately, Alakazam took him out in one hit. At least this opened up for a clean switch into another Pokemon. We brought out Zeltron and used Shadow Claw to take out the Alakazam. If I didn't take care of him quickly, it would have resulted in a huge sweep. Next up was Girafarig. We used U-turn to safely switch from Zeltron into Everest to line up a Hail into a 100% Blizzard attack. That managed to take down the Girafarig. The only thing I was actually worried about was the future sight that Alakazam set up right before we took him out. Everest ended up taking the hit and to my surprise endured it with only 6 HP remaining. The next Mon was Medicham, and let me tell you, this was no ordinary Medicham. We thought it had Fire Punch, so I instinctively thought that having Everest out, it would use it, so I switched to Capo. Unfortunately for me, it didn't have Fire Punch and ended up one-shotting our Capo with a high jump kick. We brought Everest back out and hoped for a miss, and to my surprise, Everest also had a high friendship with me and toughed out the move. We hit Medicham with a Blizzard and it fainted. The next Mon was Bronzong, and unfortunately I had Levitate so I couldn't use Earthquake. So we pulled Wayne out anyways and withered it away with multiple crunches, allowing us to beat Lucian and finally make our way to Cynthia. We walked into the fight with Zeltron because we thought it would be the best lead, and we thought it would be cool to go in with our starter Pokemon. Cynthia's first Pokemon was Spiritomb, and it proved to be a bit of a tough opponent for Zeltron. So we landed a few hits and we switched to Alpha Q. Our initial plan was to hit it with Dazzling Gleam, but then we found out it was probably not enough to kill it. So maybe hitting it with Stun Spore was a better idea. The main problem was that Spiritomb kept throwing Psychic out and not letting me attack. I stalled by healing and it eventually threw out Dark Pulse, which gave me an opening to use Stun Spore. We landed the Paralyze, however Spiritomb hit me with a Psychic. I definitely thought Alpha Q was toast here, but she ended up surviving with 4 HP. We then healed up and stalled until Spiritomb was too paralyzed to move. Once we had the opportunity, we attacked and landed a critical hit Dazzling Gleam, which killed the Spiritomb. Cynthia's next Pokemon was Melodic, to which we switched out to Everest since it's most likely going to throw an Ice Beam. I kept hitting the Melodic with a Wood Hammer until it was in the kill range. Cynthia then withdrew Melodic and pulled out Lucario. Our plan was to change to Alpha Q and take a turn to heal up Zeltron since he was rather low in health. Lucario got very close to killing Alpha Q, leaving her with only 3 HP after a Flash Cannon. We attempted to hit the Stun Spore on Lucario and finally got it. However, Lucario ended up hitting another Flash Cannon, leaving Alpha Q with 1 HP. We did some more healing on both Alpha Q and our other Mons, and we brought Zeltron back out to hit him with a Fire move. Zeltron easily defeated Lucario with a Flamethrower. This brought Cynthia to her next Pokemon, Gastrodon, to which we responded by bringing back out Alpha Q. Alpha Q ended up one-hitting Cynthia's Gastrodon, bringing her back up to full health. Cynthia then brought back out Melodic, to which we responded with yet another Giga Drain. This ended up finishing off the Melodic. Her next Pokemon was a Roserade, so it was basically Roserade versus Roserade here. Our plan was to hit it with a Sludge Bomb until it died. Cynthia also had the same plan. However, our Sludge Bomb was slightly stronger and we ended up winning that battle. Cynthia was down to her last Pokemon. the big boy Garchomp. Our plan was to go for a Stun Spore and go to our Garchomp counter, Everest. Cynthia's Garchomp outsped us and hit an Earthquake. And apparently my Alpha Q loved me so much it decided to tough out the move and managed to hit the Paralyze. Now that we were faster than the Garchomp due to the Paralyze, we decided to go for Dazzling Gleam and inflict as much damage as possible, to sack Alpha Q and get a clean switch into Everest. To my surprise, we actually weren't faster than the Garchomp, causing Alpha Q to be hit again with an Earthquake. Apparently Alpha Q did not want to stop the love and toughed it out yet again. Cynthia then used a full restore on the Garchomp, which then put us in an awkward position. We did, however, manage to re-paralyze it before it ended up knocking out Alpha Q. Alpha Q did way more than enough work to prep Garchomp for Everest. Our plan with Everest was to use Ice Shard, since it was a priority move and was 4x on Garchomp, so we sent out Everest and did just that. Cynthia ended up using 2 more full restores, but it didn't even matter because Ice Shard always went first and we were always going to kill it within 2 hits. We had Garchomp and Cynthia right where we wanted, and after one last Ice Shard, we knocked out the Garchomp and finally got revenge on Cynthia. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I will see you in the next one.